Good evening and thank you for joining us here at GBS News 9. My name is Beatrice Njeri. Our sign language interpreter is Paul Mathenge. Do keep your comments coming in through our SMS line 21144 and GBS TV Africa on all our social media handles. To begin our bulletin, President William Ruto convened his inaugural meeting with the newly appointed cabinet members at State House on Monday, just days after the official swearing in last Thursday. During the session, President Ruto emphasized the importance of combating corruption, enhancing efficiency, and focusing on initiatives to generate employment opportunities for the youth. Here is more on the same. President William Ruto today hosted his inaugural meeting with the newly appointed cabinet secretaries at State House. Joined by Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, Ruto engaged in discussions with all cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries to outline the path forward for implementing his ambitious agenda for Kenyans. In the meeting, Ruto urged the officials to maintain integrity and avoid corruption as they carry out their responsibilities.
You took an oath to do it for the people of Kenya, starting with myself. If you remember carefully in my statement, I said, make the people of Kenya your first and only priority. And don't allow personal issues to come in the way of your duty.
Ruto reshuffled his cabinet in response to public outcry over accountability issues with his previous team. The opposition figures joining the cabinet are ODM's John Bande, appointed to the Treasury, Ugunja Member of Parliament James Opiyo Wandayi, who will oversee energy, former Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho, now in charge of mining and the blue economy, and former Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya, who will handle cooperatives and MSMEs development.
I am sure my colleagues are ready to work for the people of Kenya. We know the accountabilities to the people of Kenya. We have heard it from you, and you're the one who is carrying the torch of this accountability on our behalf. We will support you. I'm sure I'm speaking for my colleagues. We will support you. You have actually covered in a very short time what we expect, and now even those of us who are new, we are ready to go. Finally, I want to say that those of us who have joined the cabinet, we are also grateful to our colleagues who have been here. I think you have received us and welcomed us positively. We will work together as a team, both at the cabinet and also at our individual ministries.
You must know and appreciate the need for hard work and work ethics, that you have to put a lot of work because of where we are as a nation. I'll be having an opportunity tomorrow to discuss further on our lessons, on the cabinet that we had, and whatever we may learn and can be useful as we embark on the new dispensation.
The president has emphasized that this inclusive approach is designed to foster national unity and advance his transformation agenda.
Father, I want to commit these men and women that serve in the cabinet and as principal secretaries of the Republic of Kenya.
After having a beehive of activities at State House, Nairobi, President William Ruto made his way to Nyamira County, where he emphasized on the importance of national unity, hinting to have secured the Orange Democratic Movement Party into the UDA camp. The head of state, who seemed to have restored himself to his political factory setting, was full of energy and urged his opponents to now work with him for the betterment of the country. Our political reporter Davis Karani has the details.
President
William Ruto, full of joy, energy and happiness amid the redly formed cabinet, the commander-in-chief took Nyamira County by storm.
Tumekubaliana ya kwamba tutafanya kazi pamoja. Ile kazi ambayo itafaidi wa Kenya wote. Si namna hiyo? Kwa hivyo msikuwe na wasiwasi, sisi tutashirikiana. Kazi yangu ya muhimu ni kuhakikisha kwamba tunaunganisha Kenya iwe moja.
The head of state, whose mood was predictable, never hid his emotions after banking the longest and the giant opposition party, ODM, into the UDA camp and hinted for further engagements.
Sasa wewe Simba, kabla wewe haujanikaribisha kwa ODM, nyinyi tayari mmeketi chini ndani ya UDA tayari, vile mnaona. Si hawa watu ni watu wazuri na tumekubaliana, si namna hiyo? Hatujakubaliana ya kwamba chama ya ODM ama tumetengeneza coalition, hapana. Tumekubaliana ya kwamba tutafanya kazi pamoja.
Embroiled in the political goodwill language, the president further hinted on uniting the nation in terms of development and distribution of the national resources equally without favor, as his broad-based administration portrayed the image of the entire nation, a statement that was push-kicked by Kisii County Governor Honorable Simba Arati.
Sisi kama jamii ya Omo Gusii tuko tayari kushikana pamoja, ndiposa tuhakikishe kwamba maendeleo yameletwa. Maendeleo ya barabara, maendeleo ya stima, maendeleo ya university. Na vile vile, Mheshimiwa Rais, mimi nataka niseme hili la mwisho. Tafadhali, ukiwa huku kwetu Kisii, hatuna shamba. Kuna shamba. Kwa ghamu yako ya ofisi, hii mambo ya affordable housing, it could have fitted well with the Kisii community.
But even as the head of state was championing for promotion of national unity through inclusivity, we took a snip of the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagwa's mood, and here it is.
Tutafanya kazi pamoja, ile kazi ambayo itafaidi wa Kenya wote, si namna hiyo? Kwa hivyo msikuwe na wasiwasi, sisi tutashirikiana. Kazi yangu ya muhimu ni kuhakikisha kwamba tunaunganisha Kenya iwe moja. Munasema tuunganishe Kenya iwe moja, sio?
What is cooking in the hottest kitchen of politics?
Chief Justice Martha Koome presided over the launch of the Rapid Results Initiative, an ambitious effort aimed at decongesting prisons in the Nairobi region. With a focus on the industrial area, remand and maximum prison, this initiative seeks to bring the prison population within sustainable limits, addressing an overcrowding crisis that has seen 60,000 inmates housed in facilities designed for just 34,000. As the judiciary takes a lead role in this initiative, the aim is to not only ease the burden on the prison system, but also to introduce rehabilitative and environmentally conscious alternatives to interceptions. Susan Nganga with the full report.
The Chief Justice Martha Koome has today presided over the launch of the Rapid Results Initiative, aimed specifically at decongesting prisons in the Nairobi region. The focus of this initiative is on the industrial area remand and maximum prison. The initiative is set to unfold in two phases. The first phase will concentrate on reviewing bail and bond terms for individuals who have not yet been convicted, in line with the principle that everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty. The second phase will involve ongoing sentence reviews by High Court judges, ensuring that the prison population remains within manageable limits. To maintain momentum, a standing order has been established mandating quarterly decongestion exercises. Additionally, the government is currently implementing community service orders as a means of reducing reliance on prison sentences for petty offenders. This program is currently being rolled out in Elgeyo Marakwet and Laikipia counties, offering a more rehabilitative approach to justice. Furthermore, the Power of Mercy Advisory Committee is currently compiling a list of prisoners eligible for a presidential pardon. Prison overcrowding in Kenya is a significant issue, with the inmate population at about 60,000, far exceeding the official capacity of around 34,000, leading to an alarming occupancy rate of 176.5%. Approximately 41% of these inmates are pre-trial detainees, reflecting a substantial judicial backlog. Susan Nganga, GBS News.
In a major update on the Shakahola massacre case, the prosecution has lined up 422 witnesses to testify against prime suspect Paul Nthege Mackenzie and 94 others who face 238 counts of manslaughter. Chief Magistrate Alex Ithuku was informed today that the prosecution is ready to present both electronic and physical evidence. Prosecution counsel Martin Bote, representing the team, expressed confidence in proving the case beyond a reasonable doubt. The defense, led by lawyer Lawrence Obonyo, has received the bulk of the prosecution's evidence and is awaiting a few final pieces before the trial begins. The court has set hearing dates for August 12th to 15th and September 9th to 12th, 2024, with the proceedings to run uninterrupted. The 95 accused linked to the 429 deaths in the Shakahola massacre are charged with 238 counts of manslaughter for allegedly participating in a suicide pact between January 2021 and September 2023. All have pleaded not guilty. The prosecution team includes Senior Assistant DPP Mr. Kiprop and several principal and prosecution counsels. Many thanks for joining this live broadcast. We have a lot lined up for you in our news segment tonight. But first, let us take a quick break. We'll be right back with even more.
Leo tutakuwa tunaangazia masuala mengi kuhusu uongozi na maendeleo, na pia tutakuwa tunaangalia uongozi wa kuigwa na vijana. Kuna idara za serikali, kuna tume ya EACC, kuna idara za mahakama na kuna parliament, lakini tumeshindwa kutekeleza chapter 6 of Kenyan Constitution to the point that ya kwamba watoto wachanga ndio wanatuonyesha jinsi ya ndio wanatuweka katika mistari sabamba ya kuratibisha kifungu cha 6 cha katiba ya Kenya.
When we try tukijaribu sana kuangalia mambo politically na tuangalie vizuri pande hii nyingine ya kijamii, nafikiri hapo kuna kuwa na mwanya katikati, na hiyo mwanya ndiyo ambayo sasa imekuja kujazwa na hii generation.
What has it this far that now they are saying enough is enough?
Wakati Daktari William Samoei Ruto alichukua hatamu za uongozi, mnakumbuka ya kwamba the opposition walianza zile demonstrations zao za kusema the cost of living imeenda juu sana. Ijaribu kushukishwa kidogo ili watu wakuwe na muamana katika nchi. Na hiyo pia iliadhiri serikali yake pakubwa.
Sababu ya watu kwenda kwa maandamano ilikuwa kutoridhika na mambo yanavyofanywa. Wakati finance bill ilipitishwa na wakati tunaangalia sababu ya zenyewe kupitishwa, tunaona si sababu za kusaidia vijana.
What happened after the Kenya Kwanza imereduce still wanamwandamania?
So ile ambayo wananchi wa Kenya wanakasirika ni kwa sababu we are expecting leaders, and especially led by the president, to be giving us policies that can give effect to Article 43 of the Kenyan Constitution.
Having been there, what inspired you to start it? What did you see that was missing in our society that drove you to that point to start a home and a school?
Yeah.
What are those challenges that you face, especially from now, your family, your relatives and the society at large, whereby when they look, unajua, it's easy for a woman to do such a thing, but not a man. Yes.
But I was the one to let them understand that this is God who has called us to do this as a family.
How was it? Did you start a home and a school after you had married and started your own family, or the family came in later? And how was it for your wife? If he's not carrying the same vision as you are.
Standing firm, I don't stand firm and I quarrel them, I tell them if you want to leave, leave. No, I still continue to talk to them so that they can understand what I'm carrying over my back. And later, my wife understood, my children understood, so this time they're happy with the whole family.
As a father of many, how now do you now sit them down with their goals, with their visions, and to ensure that what they want to achieve, you're able to support them differently?
The first thing is to let the people surrounding you, the family, understand what you are doing, where you come from, and where you are going.
Moving on now, you have started a home.
Yeah.
The struggles are there.
Yeah.
You're still holding on tight to the vision.
Yeah.
And here you are, 23 years later.
Yeah.
How has the journey been? What are the children that you look and help?
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back. You're still watching GBS News 9. President William Ruto has announced that the government, in partnership with the European Union, will spend 650 million Kenyan shillings to connect 10,000 households in the county to power. The president said this in Kisii, in the company of his host Governor Simba Arati and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua, who asked the Gusii community to continue supporting the government, saying it is focused on transforming their lives. Governor Arati told the president that leaders from the Gusii community, drawn from various political parties, are ready to unite and work together. Governor Arati also supported that what the president had said, that the ODM was not in a coalition with the Kenya Kwanza. He noted that the government's affordable housing program is of key importance in the Gusii land because land holdings have significantly reduced. President Ruto explained that the government will build 4,000 units under the affordable housing program, creating much-needed jobs for the youth. He pointed out that the government has allocated 3.5 billion Kenyan shillings for the construction of the 61 kilometers of road in the county.
Tafadhali sote tuingie uwanjani. Wananchi wote tafadhali tunaomba kuingia uwanjani.
Kama msemaji rasmi wa Omo Gusii, nataka niukaribishe hapa, nikwambie jisikie nyumbani, na vile vile nataka niongee mambo matatu peke yake. Hawa watu wa Kisii ni watu wa amani. Watu wa amani wanapenda marafiki wote. Si ndio? Kwa sababu inji hii kama tungeanguka nayo, hakuna mtu angekuwa na amani. Na tunashukuru kwamba Mheshimiwa Baba kwa kukubali kuhakikisha kwamba tumekuwa pamoja, tupeleke nchi yetu mbele. Mheshimiwa Rais, nataka nimalizie hapo ni kuombe kitu moja tu tafadhali. Hapa Nyaribari Chache tuko na ile plani ya KUKA, Kenya UK Health Alliance, ambayo ingefungua eneo hili mpaka Tanzania. Najua unatafuta pesa tafadhali. Wale wangwana wa UK wamekubali watatupea hiyo loan, lakini hiyo loan tajipanga vile vya kulipa ni 40 something billion. Kwa sababu ya hapa Nyausia tuweke hospitali hile na college ile, ndiposa na sisi tutengeneze city pande hii.
Sisi tumekuja hapa kumsindikisha rais katika ziara ya maendeleo ya siku 3 katika hapa Gusii Land. Kwa sababu rais amepanga mipango ya maendeleo. Na mimi mwenyewe nikasema nifike hapa Kisii. Si ndio?
Tuko na mpango ya serikali ya watu wa Nyamira na serikali ya Kuwait tumekubaliana ya kwamba tunaweka bilioni 1.4 1.4 billion kwa masomo ya watoto wetu hapa Nyamira County. Munanielewa jameni? Na tumesema shule 68 tutazibadilisha, tutajenga vizuri ndio watoto wetu wapate nafasi ya kusoma. Kati ya hiyo shule 68, shule yenu hapa ya Kenyerere ni moja yao. Zile shule zingine zote tumekuja kuzianzisha leo, zitaendelea na kujengwa, kwa sababu tunataka kuhakikisha kwamba kuna infrastructure ya kutosha watoto wetu wapate nafasi ya kusoma. Ndio sababu tumeweka pesa nyingi katika masomo ya watoto wa Kenya. Sisi kama viongozi, hawa wananchi wamemaliza kazi yao, wametupatia nafasi, wamechaguana. Ile kazi iko ni vile tutashirikiana, vile tutaungana, tuweze kutekeleza wajibu wetu kama viongozi. Tupange na tutekeleze mambo ya maendeleo ya hawa wananchi, mambo ya maji, mambo ya stima, mambo ya barabara, mambo ya masomo, mambo ya maendeleo. Hiyo ndio kazi ambayo imebaki kati yetu na hawa wananchi. Hatuwezi kuendelea kuongea mambo ya viongozi miaka nenda miaka rudi. It is now time for us as leaders to unite, to work together for the people of Kenya. Na ndio sababu mimi nimesema hakuna haja tena ya mirengo, hakuna haja tena ya ubaguzi, hatuna biashara na ukabila. Sisi wote tunataka tuungane, na ndio nimeunda serikali ya Kenya ya kuleta Wakenya wote pamoja. Mimi nawauliza watu wa Kisii, munataka tuungane ama tutengane? Munasema tuungane ama tutengane? Munasema tuungane. Munakubali niunde serikali ya Wakenya wote? Kila Mkenya ajumuishwe, tuweze kuwa pamoja, tupange maendeleo pamoja, tupange biashara pamoja, tupange matibabu na masomo ya watoto wetu pamoja. Wale wanasema tuungane, nione kwa mkono watu wa Kisii. Munakubali tuungane? Munakubali tuungane jameni? Sisi wote kama ndugu moja wa nchi moja ya Kenya, na hiyo ndio msimamo mimi niko nayo.
The Milimani High Court has overturned earlier orders that had suspended the implementation of the unique personal identifier, also known as the Maisha number. In its latest Monday decision, the court stated that the government demonstrated that suspending Kenyan registration has a very direct and immediate negative impact on very large populations of people. Here are the details.
Mr. Kindiki and my good friend Eliud Owalo, you have 90 days to deliver to us a digital identity. I know it's doable.
In his latest ruling, Judge Lawrence Mugambi has overturned the orders he issued on July 25th that had suspended the further rollout of Maisha cards, after determining that the suspension of registration of Kenyans has direct immediate adverse consequences on a very large population of Kenyans. The implementation was halted pending the outcome of a petition filed by Haki na Sheria Initiative against the national government, Attorney General, Interior Cabinet Secretary and the Principal Registrars of Births, Deaths and Persons. Lawyer Sumaya Moku, who represents Haki na Sheria, had argued that the Maisha number rollout violates the Constitution's guarantees of rights and freedoms. While delivering his ruling, Milimani High Court Judge Lawrence Mugambi noted that the respondents are actively collecting, processing and storing data despite security concerns laid out in the earlier petitions. In recent months, Kenyans have complained of a delay in issuance of identification cards, a situation said has been worsened by the High Court's order to halt the rollout. Since January, the Ministry of Interior has been rolling out the card in what Immigration Principal Secretary Julius Bitok explained was in line with the global standard practice, where countries have transitioned into issuance of digital ID cards. Civil societies are however disturbed by the 10-year expiry date slapped on the Maisha card numbers. Hilary Kabila, GBS News, Nairobi.
The government has announced plans to evacuate Kenyans from Lebanon due to growing security concerns. In a press statement, the Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary and the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs confirmed they are closely monitoring the situation and are ready to assist Kenyans who wish to leave the country. An interministerial committee led by the State Department for Diaspora Affairs is coordinating with Kenya's mission in Kuwait and other partners to ensure the safety of the 26,599 Kenyans currently in Lebanon. Evacuations will be voluntary and those seeking to leave are urged to register online and contact the provided emergency numbers. The government also reminded citizens of an existing ban on labor migration to Lebanon since September 2023 and advised against travel to the region until further notice. Concerns have escalated due to the potential for conflict involving Iran, Hezbollah and Israel following recent high-profile assassinations. The residents of Kadenge, Gendro and all areas along the Yala wetlands in Siaya County have welcomed the news of the possibility of the former American investor Dominion Farms occupying Yala Swamp again. The investor who arrived at the Yala Swamp back in 2003 was forced to leave the swamp in 2018 after the community turned hostile, forcing an abrupt end to his stay. Today, the story is different, with the locals psyched up for a new engagement with the former investor, whom they showered with glowing tributes. Led by Community Committee Chairman Fred Kando, the locals pointed out that they are more than ready to have the investor back to the swamp they once petitioned him to vacate. The locals, however, castigated the current investor, saying he has neglected the area and has failed to offer employment opportunities for the locals. The news of a possible return of the former investor comes at a time when the swamp is already leased to another investor, Lake Agro Limited. A circular from the National Lands Commission last year indicated that the swamp had already been leased to Lake Agro Limited at 60 billion Kenya shillings for 66 years. The community currently demands that the politicians keep off the matters concerning the Yala wetlands.
Today, actually, we are happy. Okay. My name is Fred Ricardo, and today, actually, we are glad. It's like our prayers have been answered. All along, we've been praying that the proprietor or the president of Dominion Farms to come back to his farm. By the look of things, it's like he's coming back. That is the information that I have as from today, that Calvin Burgess is coming back to Dominion Farms. But there are things that he's coming up with. As per the report, first of all, he's going to renovate the training center that was built near Yala Bridge, the bridge that links Alego and Imbo. Initially, as per his record, he's saying that the first intake will be close to 100 to 400 students, and he's also going to have an interchange program. They'll be studying in Kenya, and after graduating in Kenya, they'll be taken to United States for other programs.
Investor mwingine ambao ni Lake Agro, ambao hatukufahamishwa kwa kuja kwake hata na county government. Hakuna public participation ambayo iliyofanywa. Sasa sisi tunahitaji aliyekuwa hapa awali ambao ni Calvin Burgess na pamoja na kambi yake ambao ni Dominion arudi. Tumemkaribisha kwa uvumi na uvumi aje bila kuchelewa katika hiyo mwaka ambao anasema anakuja mwaka ujao.
Product of Dominion Farms. When Calvin Burgess was here, I learned several skills in Dominion Training Center, whereby I trained livestock management, dairy management, and veterinary clinical health services. There I learned a lot of skills of which right now I can survive through those skills, and even I can do some services that that a person that went to university cannot do.
Our community is looking unto him to come back with value addition. The processing of rice, the processing of sugarcane, and soybeans, and any other product. Similarly, we look unto him to the processing of livestock products. The community is ready to embrace him in training field, that our young people and our youth should be trained in modern technology, in agriculture, and in all other fields.
Do keep your comments coming in through our SMS line 21144 and GBS TV Africa on all our social media handles. That report brings us to our international news, but first let us take a quick commercial break.
So through the four gospel books, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, John, we can know the heart of Jesus in depth. And the Jesus that we can feel him through the scriptures, and I'm very thankful about that. Jesus Christ came to this earth for our sins. He carried our sins. And he was crucified, and he received the punishment for sins. And he was put into the tomb and resurrected in 3 days. This is the gospel that we speak. About how Jesus died for our sins. The purpose of Jesus being crucified. He was crucified to pay for our sins. And through Jesus being crucified, clearly our sins have been washed clean. However, unfortunately, many people still say that they are sinners.
Hello, boys and girls. How are you today? Because I am very, very happy. So we are on Kids Mind on GBS TV.
Today we're going to make ta-da! A boba tea letter set.
We are moving to singing class.
Skinamarinky dinky ding, skinamarinky doo. I love you.
The tortoise and the hare. Friends, do you know about this story?
Now you're finished to make.
Enjoy yourselves, everybody.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back to the broadcast. And now to matters international news. Paul Kagame was inaugurated for his fourth term as Rwanda's president on 11th of August through the ceremony taking place at Amahoro Stadium in Kigali, where he was sworn in by Chief Justice Faustin Nsezirayo. Kagame secured over 99% of the votes in the July 15th election, which saw a voter turnout of approximately 98% among eligible voters. The ceremony in Kigali highlighted Kagame's enduring influence, yet it also spotlighted the ongoing debates about human rights and the concentration of power under his rule. Here is the full report.
Paul Kagame, Rwanda's re-elected president, took the oath of office in the grand inauguration ceremony held on Sunday in Kigali. At 66 years old, Kagame has been a central figure in Rwandan politics since the aftermath of the 1994 genocide. His address reaffirmed his dedication to the republic, promising to uphold the constitution and the laws of the land.
I, Kagame Paul, do solemnly swear to Rwanda that I will remain loyal to the Republic of Rwanda observe and defend the Constitution and other laws.
The inauguration marks the start of Kagame's new term following an election where he faced minimal opposition. As Kagame begins his new term, both domestic and international observers remain vigilant. Irene Juguna, GB.
The Minister of Justice of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Constant Mutamba, announced on Saturday, August 10th, of the release of the nearly 527 prisoners from the central prison of Makala in Kinshasa. During the event, he also delivered 2,000 mattresses to the inmates out of a total of 7,000 that was previously ordered, aiming to improve their detention conditions. Here is more on the same.
In July, the Congo's government had stated that at least 7,000 inmates were to be granted conditional release from the Makala Central Prison in a bid to ease overcrowding at the facility. Constant Mutamba reminded the public that he had promised to improve the detention condition of prisoners in line with instruction from the head of state. The Prime Minister also announced the construction of a new prison in Maluku on a site he had recently visited. Located in Kinshasa, is the country's largest jail, built for 1,500 inmates in 1957, but now holding more than 15,000 people, including children and women. Conditions are notoriously bad at the prison, with inmates crammed into cells, eating poorly, and some suffering from water and respiratory diseases. Periskego, GBS News.
At least 21 people have died and 14 others injured following the collapse of a massive garbage dump in the Ugandan capital. The disaster occurred late Friday at the Kits-Ezil landfill, which serves as the city's only waste disposal site. Torrential rains in the recent weeks are believed to have triggered the landslide, burying homes and leaving many residents trapped. Here are the details.
The landfill, situated on a steep slope in an impoverished area of Kampala, was the site of the tragedy. Authorities have confirmed that the landslide was caused by heavy rainfall, which led to what officials described as a structural failure in the waste mass. In the aftermath, rescue workers have been combing through the debris, managing to rescue 14 individuals so far.
21 dead bodies, and these dead bodies includes children, women, and men. They have all been taken to City Mortuary for postmortem, and thereafter we are going to hand over the dead bodies to the families for a decent burial.
The number of people still trapped remains unknown, adding to the urgency of the search efforts. The Red Cross has set up tents to accommodate those displaced by the disaster. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni has called for an investigation into the incident and criticized the decision to allow residential areas to be built so close to the unstable landfill. He has instructed the Prime Minister to coordinate the removal of residents from the vicinity. The Kiti-Ezir landfill has long been a source of concern for city officials, with plans to replace it dating back to 2016. Irene Juguna, GBS News.
Chad celebrated its 64th Independence Day on August 11th with a military parade in N'Djamena attended by President Mahamat Dabi. He highlighted the significance of the day, stating, and I quote, "We are about to start a new era with a new dynamic, with legislative elections coming up soon to preside over our constitution." End of quote. Dabi, who has led a transitional government since 2021 April after the death of his father, former President Idris Deby Itno, called on citizens to prepare for a good start to the Fifth Republic. The celebrations honored Chad's independence from France in 1960. Severe flooding in Sudan has exacerbated the already dire humanitarian crisis faced by thousands of people displaced by the ongoing civil conflict. Recent heavy rains have affected over 11,000 individuals, including refugees and local communities in the eastern Kassala state, forcing many to relocate yet again from makeshift shelters and camps. Families who had sought refuge in a school complex in Kassala awoke to find flood waters rising around them, damaging their belongings. Through Mara Musa Mohammed, one of the displaced women narrating the chaotic ordeal. Here is that report.
More than 11,000 people, including refugees and local community in eastern Kassala state, have been impacted by the floods, heavy rains in the past 2 weeks. Much of the country has descended into humanitarian crisis since the fighting began over a year ago between the military and a powerful paramilitary group, the Rapid Support Forces.
I hope the war ends so that we can return home. That is all we wish for, to be able to go back to our families. The school was flooded while we were asleep. We woke up and found it was submerged. Vehicles had sunk and we lost all our belongings.
Bichege Balikusha, head of the Kassala sub-office at UNHCR, described the latest flooding as a crisis over a crisis.
We are currently in the process of distributing the non-food item which will help forcibly displaced community that have been affected by flood to face the current situation. You can understand that this is a crisis over a crisis.
More than 10 million people have been forced to flee their homes both within the country and across its borders. Periskego, GBS News.
Do keep your comments coming in through our SMS line 21144 and GBS TV Africa on all our social media handles. And now for sports lovers, it is time for your most anticipated part of the news, the sports news. Let's get sporty. Kenya has emerged as a continental champion, securing the top spot in Africa with an impressive total of 11 medals at the 2024 Paris Olympics, with 4 gold, 2 silver and 5 bronze medals. Kenya finished 17th overall out of more than 180 nations. This remarkable performance is an improvement from the previous Tokyo Olympics, where Kenya ranked 19th. Here are the details.
Outstanding efforts brought home 4 gold medals, 2 silver medals, and 5 bronze medals. The performance marks a significant leap from the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, where the country won 4 gold, 4 silver, and 2 bronze medals, placing 19th.
Busia played host to a special joint event under the FIFA Women's Football Campaign and Football for Schools program on Saturday, 2024. The event brought together 30 schools from the region, where students participated in small-sided matches and life skills training throughout the day. The activities culminated in an award ceremony, during which footballs were distributed to the teams as a token of encouragement. For FKF Vice President, speaking at the event, highlighted the potential witnessed during the day, stated that the Federation has been blessed to see raw talent on display and the impact is evident. The event also featured a graduation ceremony for newly certified CAF D coaches following their completion of a 10-day course. Among the graduates were 20 school teachers and 10 community coaches. This initiative by FKF is a strategic effort to ensure that those responsible for player development are equipped with the right knowledge and skills to guide young talent effectively. This event marked the 6th rollout of the Women's Football Campaign and the 3rd edition of the Football for Schools program.
We are here at Nambari High School for the Women Football Campaign and Football for Schools. This program is meant to create awareness to the girl child and the young boys about football. As we can see, we have today almost 450 girls who have turned up, and they are taking part. You can see they are very happy about this program, and we know that it's going to go in a long way in developing football in this country. This is not the first course in this country. It has been in several places, and we therefore thank our federation, FKF, under President Nick Mwendwa, for actually bringing these programs in this country. Because in future, if you invest in the youth, it might take a long time, but in the future we are going to see polished players competing at the highest level, and we might be world beaters.
As they learn curriculum, CBS curriculum, they also learn about life skills that can help them to solve their daily challenges in life. Actually, FIFA for Schools app, it has modules, and these modules have themes. These themes have life skills and values. As you teach the techniques in football like dribbling, heading, and other techniques in football, we also learn about life skills like similarities and differences, equal opportunity, resilience. And this has as they enjoy learning about these techniques, these values and life skills help them to solve their daily lives in the learners.
Kenya is hosting the 3rd Africa Chokeball Championship, which began yesterday. The event welcomed competitors from 9 African countries, including the host nation, Kenya, as well as Tanzania, Rwanda, Benin, Cameroon, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Botswana, and Ivory Coast. The first match took place and featured Benin against Cameroon. Benin secured a victory by winning all 3 quarters of the game. The tournament will continue until the 12th of August, with the Team Kenya aiming to secure gold medals in the competition.
Naitwa Caroline Wanjiko Nange na mimi ni head coach wa Team Kenya. Siku ya leo tuna host African Championship ambao tumeleta 9 countries, and that is from Kenya, Cameroon, Benin, Tanzania, Rwanda. Pia tuko na Team Cameroon. Ilianza tarehe 8 na inamalizika tarehe 12. Chukball, najua watu wengi waielewi ni nini. Chukball tunasema ni a game of threes. Game of three meaning ukiwa na mpira unakuwa nayo 3 seconds in your hands, unairelease. You can only shoot mara 3 kwa frame. Kama frame unaweza iona hapo nyuma venye inakaa. Then you can only make 3 steps. Na unaweza rushia only wachezaji 3 mpira ndio ushoot. And you can only shoot 3 consecutive times kwa 1 frame ndio unarudisha mpira kwa the other frame. So this is not our first time to host African Championship. Kenya ili manage to host 2016, and then tukaenda 2022 in Uganda where I was the team captain na tukashinda silver that time. Tukaqualify kuenda Czech Republic for World Championship, but because of funding hatukuweza kuenda. Na sasa hivi 2024 we are again hosting the African Championship. Na tunajua team zetu tuna 4 teams presenting Kenya Team A, Kenya Team B, men and a female. And we are hopeful and we
Lee Castley has been appointed interim England manager for September's Nations League games as the Football Association continues to search for Gareth Southgate's permanent successor. The 50-year-old has stepped up from his role as England's under-21 boss to replace Southgate, who resigned 2 days after defeat by Spain in the Euro 2024 final last month. Lee Castley is a former Premier League midfielder who played for clubs including Derby and Everton in a 17-year career. He moved into management and took charge of the Coventry, Bradford and Brigham on a caretaker basis before becoming England's under-20 coach in 2020. Castley soon became boss of England under-21s and led them to the European Championship title in 2023 as they won the competition for the first time in 39 years. Castley won 40 caps for the Republic of Ireland in his playing career. England are next in action in September in the opening matches of the 2024-2025 UEFA Nations League. The first game is against Republic of Ireland on the 7th September at the Aviva Stadium. Castley's first home game will be at Wembley against Finland on 10th September. That sports news brings us to the end of our news segment tonight. Here at GBS News 9, we make your news our business. My name is Beatrice Njeri. Our sign language interpreter is Paul Mathenge. Good night.
Everywhere.